Sorry about that. I was supposed to go live at 8 o'clock, but I'm now live at 8:04 instead due to some technical difficulties. So sorry about that. Um, yeah, so I'm just waiting for people to come, even though they probably won't. Yeah, but this is actually my first live stream in about a year or so. That is interesting. I've been wanting to do one in a long time, but I don't have the time, especially like now because I'm finishing up the school year and everything like that. So, I thought I would do one now because, it's the end, even though I just said okay, never mind. That's besides the point. So, I'm very excited to do this, but also scared because, like I said, I haven't done one in a year. So, this is very nerve-wracking for me because I don't know what I'm going to talk about actually. But anyways, I'm going to talk about some pickups I got today. I got some movies in the mail. I ordered 5 movies off of Amazon. 4 of them came. The other one's coming tomorrow, which is Caged. It's a Warner Archive Blu-ray, and I'm very excited to see it because I've never seen it before, and it's a newer Warner Archive title, so it will join my Warner Archive titles. I have a shelf devoted to them over there, if you can see it. It's this one, the second shelf. So in the mail, I got a couple of Warner Archive titles, and I got a couple of Humphrey Bogart titles, so I'm going to show them off to you. So I'll start off with the Humphrey Bogart titles. I have 3, and so I got a DVD, which I'll show off first. So this is one I haven't seen. It's an earlier Humphrey Bogart title. It's a late 30s one in which he plays the supporting gangster, and the lead gangster is played... Actually, is he a gangster? I'm not sure. I will have to see the movie to figure that one out. But the lead is Edward G. Robinson, and the female lead is Joan Blondell, and it's directed by William Keighley. So when you have all 4 of them together, it has my name on it, and I'm very excited to see it. It's Bullets or Ballots. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it before purchasing it, so I'm excited to see this one. And it's a 2006 Warner Brothers DVD, so that means it has the potential to rot. But this is a standalone title, so if it came in a box set, it probably rotted already. But I bought this individually, so I don't really need to worry about that. I did put it in my PS4, and it went through perfectly well, and there was no errors or anything, no issues. And how you determine whether your disc is a standalone or not is this recycling logo right here. And so if it doesn't have that, like I have an example, so I have a Warner Brothers disc that from the affected time period that doesn't have that. It's Varsity Show. So there we go. If it has this no recycling logo, then yeah, you need to check it right away because you could have a rotted disc on your hand. This one hasn't rotted yet. I haven't seen it also, so I need to watch it right away before it rots. Okay, so there's someone who's joined. Hi, I have a quick question. Sure, what's your question? While I wait, I will continue speaking. Yeah, so I put this through my player and it played perfectly fine. Also check the extras, because, you could have the feature that plays perfectly fine, but you could have the extras that are completely dead. So definitely check everything on the disc because, you could have a dead disc in some way, whether it's the feature or the extras. So that's my little rant on that. Sorry, I heard a noise. I need to put... yeah, so that's Bullets or Ballots. In terms of extras, there's actually quite a bit. You can read it right there. Or I can just read it to you, which I will do. So there is a Warner Night at the Movies 1936 short subjects. Oh, question mark. What's your question? sorry, I'm so awkward. I'm being very quiet right now. Yeah, what's your question? Do I have to write in the chat? I'm sorry, I'm not very advanced in terms of my technological abilities. I can't start a poll. Live chat, okay. Can I write in the live chat? Or I have no clue what to do. Okay, what the hell was that question? It's probably just my stupid brother putting... I can't, like, I'm so dumb when it comes to these things that I don't know what to do. Like, what's your question? Because you have a question, right? I don't know how to write on there because I'm on my phone right now. So I don't know how to say, what's your question? I'm so dumb when it comes to these things. It's quite embarrassing. Live chat. No, like, I don't want chat viewing options. I want to write. Maybe it's here. No. I also don't want color, but now there's no one. Okay. So now I can continue talking about this and stop trying to figure that out. I'll figure that one out later. But I'll continue talking about this. So yeah, I'll read you the extras. So like I said, there's Warner Night at the Movies, 1936 Short Subjects Gallery, which contains a vintage newsreel, a musical short, which is the George Hall and His Orchestra. There's a classic cartoon, Bake Shot Now, and there's a trailer for this film, and the 1936 film, The Charge of Light Brigade, which has Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland, and is directed by Michael Curtiz. And it also has a new featurette on gangsters called The Immigrant's Hero. It has a commentary from Dana Paulin, and there's a couple more, such as How I Play Golf by Bobby Jones, Number 10 Trouble Shots, which I have no clue what that is. And then there's also breakdowns of 1936, which is a studio blooper reel, and it's also on one of the discs that I'll talk about later. Excuse me. And then there's an audio-only bonus, which is the radio show, which has Edward G. Robinson, Humphrey Bogart, and Mary Astor. And it's interesting to see Mary Astor and Humphrey Bogart team up together before they did the next film, and their next film, or actually, sorry, their first film together, which I'll talk about right now, and that is the masterpiece, The Maltese Falcon, directed by John Huston in his directorial debut. And as you can see, this is the Blu-ray, sorry. Oh, and I also forgot to show you the interior of the case. Actually, no, I did, but I'll do it again. So this is what the disc for Bullets or Ballots looks like. It also has a Warner Archive release, and it was included in the Gangsters either Volume 2 or Volume 3 box set. And so if you have any of the Gangsters box sets, definitely check those because those have the rot problems, the DVD rot, unfortunately, and it only plagues Warner Brothers DVDs that were made during 2006 and 2009. But if you want to, and you definitely should check your DVDs from Warner Brothers from also 2005 and 2010, just to be sure. Anyways, now on to The Maltese Falcon. Yeah, this film is a masterpiece. The first time I saw it, I was, sort of on it. I understood why so many people loved it, but I just didn't love it like so many other people did. But it took a rewatch, really, for me to completely love this film. And, yeah, I know there's a 4K release, but when it comes to my Bogart shelf, I'm extremely picky. I only want Blu-rays and DVDs, so I didn't want a 4K UHD touching or going on that shelf. Sorry. In terms of special features, this is there is actually quite a bit, and it ports over, I think, everything from the 2000 and 2006 DVDs. So it has a commentary by Bogart biographer Eric Slacks. there's a featurette on the Maltese Falcon called One Magnificent Bird. There's the breakdowns of 1941, which is obviously a studio blooper reel. There's makeup tests, becoming attractions, the trailers of Humphrey Bogart, which was a TCM. I don't know what you call it, a featurette. I did watch it today when I got the disc, and this was one of the special features I was very excited to check out. So, yeah, and there's actually quite a bit more. There's a newsreel called there's a newsreel. There's no title for it. There's a musical short called The Gay. I never know how you pronounce that. Parisian. I'll show you on the back. Where is it? This one. If you can see it, it's a little too dark, but there, I don't know how to pronounce that. And then there's two classic cartoons, which are Hiawatha Rabbit Hunt, and Meet John Doughboy, and which I haven't watched yet. And I do like to watch the classic cartoons that are included on these either Warner Studio or Warner Archive releases, because I think they're quite nice that they include them. And then there's also a trailer for this film, obviously, the 1941 Howard Hawks directed film Sergeant York, which is a really great movie. And then there's the previous adaptation of the Maltese Falcon called Satan and a Lady, which stars Betty Davis and Warren Williams, and it doesn't have the greatest reputation. Haven't seen it though, but I haven't heard great things about it. Also, this was released by the Warner Studio label instead of the Warner Archive label, and it's one of the few classic catalog titles that Warner Studio did, along with a couple ones before Warner Archive started doing them, and I think that Warner Archive should have done really everything, because it's not that the Warner Steel label classic Blu-rays aren't bad. This is actually my first one. It's just I would prefer that Warner Archive would do them, because these are really hard to find, and this is actually, besides from a couple of them, like I believe Casablanca's probably the easiest one to find. This is also one of the easier ones to find, and it was, when I got it for like $30, so that wasn't very cheap, especially for a Blu-ray that doesn't come with a Blu-ray or anything like that. Did I just say a Blu-ray? Sorry, that doesn't come with a booklet or anything like that. It does come with loads of special features though, obviously, so I'm very excited to revisit this one, even though I just revisited it in December. Okay, now I'm going to move on to my two Warner Archive titles, one of them being a Humphrey Bogart title, and this is the second collaboration between Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, and I believe this was the second collaboration between Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall, and Howard Hawks. So this is The Big Sleep. Now, I did watch this for my 25 Movies Challenge, the second one I did, where I watched 5 movies from 5 directors, and I haven't released that video yet, because I don't know why, actually. I do need to make that video. I haven't even started recording this, so when I talk about The Big Sleep, I will definitely be showing this physical copy when I talk about it. So it comes with the 2 versions of the film, which are the alternate version from 1945, and then it comes with the 1946 version of the film, which is possibly the most popular version of the film. And then it comes with an introduction from Robert Gitt, and then the theatrical trailer. Sorry, my voice. Yeah, so with Warner Archive discs, they don't come with too many special features, and that's unfortunate, but because they have a lower budget, it's kind of understandable. And I forgot to show the Maltese Falcon what the disc looks like, so I'll just do that now. I always forget to do that, and I'm so sorry. So the Maltese Falcon disc looks like this, while the Big Sleep disc looks like, let me spin that, it looks like this. And this is probably my favorite poster of the film. The one on Letterboxd, like the main one, I'm not a big fan of, so I just switched the poster because I have Patreon to this, and it is a great poster. And so I'm very excited to revisit this one. I know it's very confusing, and a lot of people think it's confusing. I think it's extremely confusing, and so a rewatch will definitely help me get a better understanding of the film. And No, I do remember loving it though, and I remember loving the performances from Bogart and Bacall as they usually do. And yeah, so I'm very excited to revisit this one. And yeah, I'm also excited to make that 25 movies challenge video. There's something wrong with my voice today. I don't know why. And okay, so the last one is Doris Day title, and I got this because she's my actress of the month, and I've been wanting to watch more of her titles, and there isn't much of hers that I actually want to see. So I just decided to get a sorry, I'm looking up there. I don't know why. I want to get a title of hers that was a little bit cheaper from the Warner Archive. It's a recent release. Well, not a recent release, but you know, one of the newer ones um, in my collection because I have a lot of the older Warner Archive releases. This is from Michael Curtiz, who's a director I absolutely love. And it stars Jack Carson and Doris Day, obviously, and I haven't seen anything from theirs yet, and I know that they did a lot with each other in the early stages of Day's career, and that is My Dream Is Yours. So I'm very excited to watch this because, well, it's Doris Day, and I love Doris Day, and I love Jack Carson, and I love Michael Curtiz, so what can go wrong with this one? In terms of special features, there isn't much, as usual with Warner Archives. There is a vintage Joe, oh, I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing this one, McDoak's comedy short, which is called So You Want to Be an Actor. There's an Oscar-nominated drama short called The Grass is Always Greener. There's a classic cartoon called A Hand on the Roll, and then there's obviously the theatrical trailer. So I'm excited to watch this one because it's a new Michael Curtiz film I haven't seen, and chances are I will, actually no, I'll be 100% watching this month for Doris Day month. So I'm very excited to either watch or rewatch all of these titles, all of these titles soon, actually either soon or, you know, later, and they're definitely worthy additions to my collection. So let me just go put these back to where they were. That won't take me long, let's hope. And my entire shelf is gonna, well, all the Blu-rays on my shelf are gonna fall off. Watch that happen. Let's hope I jinx myself. Here we go. All right. There's still nobody in here, which is sad. Now I will try to figure out how to respond to this person whose name is Ethan's question, which he hasn't sent to me, because I don't know why. Actually, it's probably because I didn't respond to him, which is my fault, but because I don't know how to do this. Yeah. There's, all there is chat settings, and it's just, but that's really much it. That's all, really. Yeah, so now I don't know what to talk about, unfortunately. Maybe I'll talk about Hitchcock, I don't know. There's really, like, I'm basically talking to myself, unfortunately, but I don't know what to talk about. Maybe I'll just look around, like, because I have, look, I'll just take this here. So I'll flip the camera, and so, basically, I just have all these Blu-rays down here, and, that's what I'm looking down at. But if I'm looking down, that's probably what I'm looking at, because, you know, I don't know why. Maybe I'll look at maybe I'll show you some of my collection. If you want to see my, my Humphrey Bogart shelf, I'll actually just show it in my Warner Archive shelf. I'll just show it to you now. So in terms of my Warner Archive shelf, here's my Frankenstein pop. So you saw this one, which is My Dream Is Yours. I also have Bad Day at Black Rock, which is a masterpiece. I think it's one of the greatest westerns, if you can call it a western. It's more of a noir western, so it's possibly the greatest noir western ever made. And then I have Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, which is a Fritz Lang film. It was his last American production, and it is great. A lot of people are not really a fan of it, which I can see why. Let me just take it out. Oh no, I grabbed Light Bulb Lady. See what do I tell you? Whenever I grab a title off the shelf when the shelf isn't completely full, it's like a domino effect and everything falls off. But anyways, yeah, so here is Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. Now I'm gonna have to fix this, so let me just put my phone in here for a second. Oh, okay. So now my lesson learned is not to take out any of these movies unless I really want to, or if it's at the end of the whatever. So that's my lesson learned for this. But yeah, but Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, despite some people's complaints with it, and I do have my own problems with it, I think it's a little like ridiculous at times. I do really like it, and I do think it's a great film, and it is. Even though it's a bit of a disappointment for Lang to end his career on, I do think it is definitely one of my favorites from him. Then I have Libeled Lady, which is an absolute classic screwball comedy. Has a great cast: William Powell, Jean Harlow, Myrna Loy, and Spencer Tracy. So that is really a stacked cast. It is really great though, and I highly recommend it. And it's one of my favorite watches from this year. And yeah, then I obviously have My Dream Is Yours, which I just talked about. Then I have Mystery of the Wax Museum, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Really, I think I'm not the biggest fan of the two strip Technicolor Warner Brothers horror films. I prefer Dr. X to this, which I know isn't the most popular opinion, but I still do like it. Don't get me wrong. I do think it's a good film. It's just not one of my favorites, and it's definitely, if I had to rank all of the Michael Curtiz films I've seen, which is quite a bit, it would rank pretty much in the bottom half. But it looks amazing on the Warner Archive Blu-ray, and I cannot recommend it enough. And I haven't got the Dr. X Blu-ray, but I'm guessing it looks just as good as this one. So the Dr. X Blu-ray is probably at the top of my Warner Archive list of titles to get, even though there's tons of titles I want to get from the Warner Archive. Then I have On Dangerous Ground, which is a favorite of mine. I watched this in November, and I made a video on it. It's a very short video. It's 2 minutes. If you haven't already, go check it out. Yeah, so this is if you want to hear my thoughts on this film, definitely go check that video out. Then I have Out of the Past, which I need to rewatch because I haven't seen it. I have seen it. I did watch it in September, but I don't remember much from it. I did give it a pretty high rating though. So for me to give it a high rating of 9 on 10, it must have been really good, and it probably is because a lot of people call it the greatest noir of all time. Then I have Possessed, which is a film I haven't seen, so I can't comment on. It's a Joan Crawford film, though, and it's another Van Heflin film, and so I want to watch it. I'll probably watch it very, very soon. Sorry, my leg was itchy there. So yeah. Then I've got, let's hope this doesn't fall out. We got it. There we go. Okay, safe. Then I've got Ride the High Country. I just took it out anyways. This is a great Western with Joel McCrea and Randolph Scott. And it's the only Sam Peckinpah film I've seen. It really impressed me, though. And it looks great on the Warner Archive Blu-ray. And it does come with a few special features, but that's okay. Because Warner Archive does a great job. Yeah, so this is a great title. And I do recommend checking it out. Oh, let's hope it doesn't fall. Okay, there we go. Then I have The Setup, which is also another Robert Ride, noir. It's a boxing film with, it's directed by Robert Wise, and it's a masterpiece. It's one of the greatest noirs ever. It was one of my favorite watches, or it was my favorite watch of November, and November specifically. It's just a really great film, and I'm glad I discovered it. And soon after I watched the film, I got it on Blu-ray because, you know, and yeah, so it's just a really great film. Then I got They Were Expendable, which is more of an underrated John Ford picture. You know, I think he was actually, I don't think he directed a lot of it. Well, he did, but he didn't direct all of it. Robert Montgomery directed some of it too, because I think John Ford was ill during the making of the film. And if I can pull it out there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think he was ill during the making of this film. So he didn't direct all of this. But the battle scenes are great, and it is a pretty great film. And a lot of people will call it long and boring. I don't agree with them on that. I think this is really not tense, but it's really engaging, and it is a little too long. I will agree. Where's the length of the film? It's over 2 hours. It's around 2 hours and sorry for the glare there. It's around 2 hours and where is the running time? Don't see it. No, but I know it's around 2 hours and 15 minutes, so it's a little too long. But I don't know what I'd cut out if I were to edit the film. So this is a great film, and I do recommend it if you want to watch more John Ford and you've watched a good chunk of his filmography. Then lastly, on my Warner Archive shelf, I've got Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which was, of course it fell. That is annoying. That is really annoying. So I probably have to add more titles to the shelf, but I don't know what I'll do. Anyways, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane was the first Warner Archive title I got. It was my first time watching the film when I got it, and it really impressed me. I do need to rewatch it though, because it's been about a year since I've seen it. So, but from what I remember, I really enjoyed it, and this was actually either my first or second Bette Davis film. I know it's my first Joan Crawford film now. Yeah, and they both impressed me since with other films I've seen of theirs. So that's my Warner Archive shelf. I do want to get more. There's a bunch of titles from the archive I do want to get. I also have a couple of their DVDs. I'll show them to you later if you want, to the 0 people watching. But yeah, so that's my Warner Archive shelf. Okay, moving on, I've got my Humphrey Bogart shelf, which is very small if you look at the rest of the other 2 shelves, which I won't be showcasing because, you know, I have tons of Criterions. I have more over here, so it's a lot. But in terms of Humphrey Bogart movies, I already shown you Bolter Ballots. High Sierra is great. I do need to revisit though, but it comes with a whole plethora of extras. I don't want to pull it out though because it's gonna fall. But yeah, this is a great film. And I think this is actually the film that launched Humphrey Bogart's career. And Ida Lupino has the higher billing than him, but she's really great, and I can understand why she got the higher billing than him, because she was a bigger star at the time. Humphrey Bogart was slightly known, you know, he wasn't as well known as she was, and, you know, he is the main character of the film, you know, but she was the bigger star at the time, so obviously she would get top billing. But regardless, this is a great film and features a great Bogart performance. I don't know why, but I really suck at my camera skills. I'm really wobbly. Sorry about that. I already talked about the Maltese Falcon. Casablanca I don't really need to talk about. See, this is really annoying. I bet you can happen another 2 times in this video. Just on this shelf, so just warning you. But anyways, Casablanca I don't really need to talk about. It's just one of the greatest films ever made. It's one of my favorite films ever made, and I think it's one of the most perfect films ever made. Moving on, I've got Howard Hawks' To Have and Have Not. I'll try to pull this one out off the shelf. There we go. This was actually the first collaboration between Lauren Bacall and Humphrey Bogart. It's great. You know, it's not one of my favorite Hawks films. Sorry, my fingers is where the camera is. But it is great. And it's like I've said before, it's another one of those films that I do need to revisit. Yeah, and it also has one of my favorite Walter Brennan performances, which is saying a lot because he's great in pretty much everything he did. Then I have The Big Sleep, which I did discuss. Moving on, then I have Key Largo, which, if you were to ask me what's my favorite of the 4 Bogart and Bacall films, this is it. This has everything you want from a Bogart and Bacall picture. And it not only does it have them, it also has Edward G. Robinson, Lionel Barrymore, and Claire Trevor in her Oscar-winning performance. Yeah, but this doesn't come with a lot of extra features. I don't even think it comes with any. So, but regardless, this is a great film, and it's one I'm excited to revisit. And yeah, I think it's actually a masterpiece, and as is with most of Huston's films. Then I've got In a Lonely. I knew it was gonna happen again. I knew it. This is so annoying. It's not funny. It's just annoying. Anyways, oh, it almost happened again. Yeah, In a Lonely Place. This is Nicholas Ray's film. See this glare? I might need to turn off the lights because this is really annoying. Between the glare and the movies falling down. Sorry, I won't show you the back because it's like glaring like crazy. Yeah, this film is great, and this probably has my favorite Bogart performance. It's either that or Casablanca. It's really hard to decide because he gave so many great performances. But this has probably my favorite Gloria Graham performance, even that I'm thinking about right now, and I'm like, either that or The Big Heat. But this is definitely my favorite Nicholas Ray film, and I do have a lot of his films on Blu-ray, including the one I showed you before, which is On Dangerous Ground, which I think is also another masterpiece. I don't know how many times I'm going to say masterpiece in this video, but it's going to be quite a bit. Anyways, that's my 2 shelves that I'm working on right now. Yeah, so I also reorganized some of my shelves. So I think if you watch my old videos, you'd notice how, like, most of my Blu-rays were on all these 4 shelves, or I think it was this one that I had first, and then I had this one, then I think I had this one, and then I got this one. So, yeah. Anyways, so now oh, my hamper, sorry. Now I have, since I have so many movies, it's just like I have to move them over to this shelf. And I have it's taken up nearly, like, the whole thing. So now I'm going to have to think about another way to, when I get more movies, to, accommodate all of this. And it's just really crazy. If you want to see the other Warner Archive titles I had that were on DVD, I have Johnny Eager, which is a film I haven't seen yet. It has Robert Taylor and Lana Turner and Edward Arnold and Van Heflin, who's in a Oscar-winning performance. And then I also have Stand By for Action, which I bought for Charles Laughton. It also has Brian Donlevy and Robert Taylor. And then where's the other one I have? It's in my Michael Curtiz section. Yeah, Captain of the Clouds, which I have seen. This is an okay movie. It's not amazing. It does have a Warner Archive Blu-ray, but I'm not gonna pay a lot of money just for a movie I just think is okay. James Cagney's great though, and as he usually is. But it's not one of my favorite films of his. So, yeah, but I organized my shelf by, so first I organized by Warner Brothers DVDs, because, I like to collect Warner Brothers DVDs. They're probably my favorite of the studios to release physical media, despite them not being the best. Then I have some of Paramount DVDs. I have 2, MGM DVDs. I don't understand why this is in a slim case, though. It must have come in a box set or something. But I don't know. I'm gonna need to figure that one out. I haven't seen Guys and Dolls yet, though, and I've been wanting to, because it's been on the watch list for a long time. Then I have my only Universal DVD of Winchester 73. Please, someone put a Blu-ray put out a Blu-ray of this movie. I know that there's a 4K restoration or scan or whatnot for this. I hope Criterion picks it up because, you know, they're actually gonna do something good with it, I hope. But anyways, it's a film that I do need to revisit again because I don't love it. I do like it though, and yeah, so Winchester 73 needs to get a Blu-ray, and I also need to rewatch it, so yeah. And so this is pretty much all my Cary Grant titles. I have a couple of more of them, like, back over on my other shelf. I have a in the Dietrich and Von Sternberg box set, I have Blonde Venus, which I'm not going to take out of the box set just to put on the shelf, but, you know, I do have a couple more Grant titles. There are two here, Notorious and To Catch a Thief, but they're in my Hitchcock section, so I didn't want to separate them. And then I also have my Michael Curtiz shelf, which I do have a lot more Michael Curtiz films, like the two I mentioned before, or not the two, what was it, the three? I mentioned Casablanca, The Mystery of the Wax Museum, and, what was the other title? My Dream is Yours. But I want to have them, like, I want to put them where they are. I want to keep them where they are, because I like how all my Warner Archives are together, and how my Humphrey Bogart titles are together, so I don't want to put them there, because, just for completion purposes. So, yeah, I also have some Frank Capra titles. I took this out of the box set, the Columbia Classics box set. I'm fine with taking this one out because it's an individual title and it has the slipcase. I just left it in the box set because just to match the others. So, there this one goes. Oh, did I put Charade back there? There we go. And then I also have Lost Horizon, You Can't Take It With You, and then The Great Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And then down here, I have my Stanley Kubrick titles. I'm not the biggest fan of Kubrick anymore. I used to, like, rave about him, and I had a whole video series devoted to him, and I talked about a lot of his titles. But now, as I rewatch them, I don't love them as much, especially 2001. I still regard it as one of the greatest movies of all time, but I don't love it as much. I used to think I used to think it was like a top 10 favorite movie of all time. Now it's more of like a top 25 favorite movie of mine. And so, like, my opinion on Stanley Kubrick, it has changed. I don't regard him as my favorite director of all time, or one of them anymore. So that has my opinion of him, sorry, has really gone down over the course of a couple of years now, and I'm really shocked to see that because I thought he would be, like, up there in my favorite directors of all time, even like 2 years down the line, but now he's not. Still, don't worry, still regard Paths of Glory and Doctor Strangelove and Spartacus and 2001 obviously and The Shining as masterpieces, but I don't love them as much, and I don't think they're as rewatchable as some other directors' films. So yeah, and I have Full Metal Jacket on 4K. I don't know why, but I'm very nervous to watch this because I don't know. From what I heard, it's a lot to take in. So, but I'm pretty excited to watch it because it's been on the watch list for quite a bit. And then I have my Cirque titles. I don't have many Cirque titles, but definitely want to get more because he's great and I love him. And there's a lot of titles that he's done that I absolutely love, like Magnificent Obsession, The Tarnished Angels, and then Imitation of Life is the one title I want Criterion to do. They did the original, starring Claudette Colbert, and I just said to myself, like, why didn't you just put the Douglas Sirk version out and include the John of Stahl, Claudette Colbert one as a supplement? Or you could have just, done what they did with The Killers and included them in one, one Blu-ray case. So that really confuses me. And yeah, I just wish Criterion would put out a Blu-ray of Imitation of Life because it really doesn't have a good Blu-ray besides the one that Universal did with where they packaged the original with Claudette Colbert, the Cirque version, and that one is not very easy to find now. So at least where I am. So please, Criterion, put out a Blu-ray of, or at least or even a 4K of Imitation of Life, the 1959 Douglas Sirk version, as it needs one. Then I have my Preston Sturges Blu-rays. I don't have many of them. I do want to get more. These are just the 3 that Criterion put out on Blu-ray. I know that Unfaithfully Yours does have a what is it? A DVD. But yeah, that's one of the titles that Criterion has on DVD that I want them to put out on Blu-ray. Also Spellbound from Alfred Hitchcock is one of them. So, yeah. Then I have my Billy Wilder titles. I have 4. I have Double Indemnity, which is the 4K. Yeah, and I watched that a couple of months ago for Barbara Stanwyck month, and I rewatched it, sorry, and I have a new love for it. Then I have Sunset Boulevard, which is one of the greatest films ever made. Some Like It Hot, which is possibly Wilder's most rewatchable and his funniest movie. And then I've also got The Apartment, which is just a masterpiece and one of my favorite films of all time. And then I've got 2 random titles. I had them in the, I had a little alphabetical, title thing going on, but then I ran out of shelf space for those, and so I decided to move them down here. So that is Ratatouille. I need to rewatch all these Disney movies. There's so much other stuff I want to watch or rewatch that it's like, that's not the top of my priorities. And then I have Wings, which is a film I appreciate more than I love. I do think it is a good film, though, and I do recognize it as a classic, but I don't think it is one of, like, the greatest movies ever made. And then I also have probably my first piece of physical media, or, like, my first piece of Blu-ray or DVD, and that's my Indiana Jones DVD collection. And I will never get rid of this because it's very special to me. Okay, Ethan, you've come back. You said hi. So if you're not listening to me right now, sorry, but yeah, so you said hi. I cannot, like, text you, or respond or chat with you, because I don't know how to do that. If you come back, like, I know you can't hear me right now, but if you come back, if you know how to do it, can you please tell me how to fix this? I don't know how to do it. Because that's really, I only have a couple of controls. See, like, I keep pressing random ass buttons, but and that's a filter, so preferably no filter, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Like, maybe I can't. Welcome to live chat. See, it's like, I can't. Let me press on your message. Interesting. I bet you, like, half of this live stream is gonna be me put user as timeout. No, definitely not. Channel activity, no. You add as moderator. Pin message, report, no. Remove, definitely not, no. So yeah, that's weird. I don't know how to fix it. I will respond to your, after the stream, I will, if I figure out during the stream, I will definitely respond or, message you. But if I don't, then I'll comment back to you, because I don't want to leave you, like, I don't want to not answer you, because that'd be very rude of me. So, I will, after the stream, if I don't figure out during the stream, I will comment, back to you. But anyways, I just started rambling off of random things. But anyways, should I get back to my normal spot? I don't know. But what I did was, I used to have, like, a whole Criterion shelf, which, by the way, is over there. So I separated all of them, unfortunately. But I think I like it more like this now, because I started it by some of my favorite directors, favorite actors, and whatnot. So it's much more easier for me. I like to have them all grouped together by director or actor or whatnot. So it's personally, it's more enjoyable for me. Yeah. So you know, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. I'm just looking at titles because I'm interested. I should have done a stream where I go over my whole Blu-ray collection because I'd actually know what I want to talk about. Also, when I'm talking about DVD rot, these don't count. So if these are so if titles that have rot problems are repackaged in these Errol Flynn not box set, but the TCM sets, like Adventures of Don Juan has the rot problems included in one of the highest, like one of the sets that are easily rotted, and that's the Errol Flynn Signature Collection Volume 2, which this is included in. It's gonna be fine. This is fine. It won't rot because this was made after the rot period. And when was this made? In 2011. So it's perfectly fine. And so is this Judy Garland collection. This was made in, where is it? 2013. So this is perfectly fine as well. So, yeah. Let me just put these back. Ugh. So, for example, let me just put these titles back. I bet you my phone's gonna fall on my face right now. It's gonna be so embarrassing. See, that I know is my brother's account. I cannot answer the question. I don't know how to respond to his chat. Okay, Ryder? Sorry, that's my brother. He always intervenes in my live stream. But, as I was saying, so these are... Okay, let me find the Adventures of Don Juan disc. There it is. Okay. So, I believe this looks... Let me just get back in there. This looks... Okay, I'm just gonna put this here right now, and then my brother, he's so annoying sometimes. Oh. Wow. Same. So now my brother and this person are having... What are they doing? It's confusing. This is gonna take an hour. Which one is your brother? The one with the username of... Are you asking my brother that or me? I'm very confused. If you're asking my brother that question, which... No, you're probably asking me. My brother is the one who has the name of Skibbity Cummers, which is the weirdest name ever. So. Yeah, but as I was saying, the Adventures of Don Juan disc, this looks identical. Okay, yeah. Which one is my brother? Okay. My brother's the one with the username of Skibbity Cummers, and when I say that, I feel very embarrassed when I say that, babe. Yeah. But this looks identical to the disc in the Errol Flynn Signature Collection Volume 2 box set, but it's different. It's just repackaging, and it's, so it's fine. Yeah, I agree. That's a weird name. I'm telling you. It's really weird. It's an extremely weird name. But anyways, I'm gonna put this back on the shelf. And hope my phone doesn't fall on my knee or my face, because that will be very sad. Now I have to fix this. Anytime I push back a Blu-ray or a DVD or a 4K on my shelf, it's something. So, there we go. It's all fixed. And, yeah. I think I'll end my stream soon. I like to have my streams that don't last very long, because I don't know, I don't typically do 2-hour streams because I don't think I can keep a conversation on for that long. So I'll probably end it around the 1 hour mark. We'll see. Yeah. I have no clue what to talk about now, because I've run out of topics to talk about. And now this is going to be compared with my older live streams, which were terrible and very cringy. And I don't recommend you watch them because they have terrible thumbnails. Well, the second one I did was particularly terrible. At least, oh, thank you. Was that, let me see. If I'm allowed to go on your account, I will subscribe to you to help you. Because, you seem like a nice person. So, I'm just looking outside because I'm very bored. I have nothing to do right now. So, anyways, I think that's it for the stream. I just want to come on here for a bit, and thank you to whoever. Oh, you're welcome. I will subscribe to you after the stream because you seem like a very nice person. So, yeah. So I think that's it for the stream. If something comes along in the next few minutes or the next few seconds, then I can continue the stream. But otherwise, I think I'm done. Unless you want to hear me talk about bringing up baby again, but I highly doubt that. Oh, goodbye, Ethan. Thank you for watching the stream. Yeah. So, I guess that's it. Yeah. I think that's it for the stream tonight. Thank you to everyone who watched this or is going to watch it. But anyways, good night, and I'll see you soon.